live. Welcome to Sunday Night Crypto on the 19th of January 2021. No, it's not Sunday night, and no, it's not night, but this is the second installment of my Sunday Night Crypto series. Tomorrow, in the States, today is the first day of trading, so I guess in some aspect it's Sunday, and it's still dark outside. So, Sunday Night Cryptos. Let me ramble for 3 minutes and then I will get on with it. Now, I know a lot of a lot of the market guys, they are logarithmically uh, better equipped than I am when dealing with markets, understanding the stuff that goes on. But from the conspiracy perspective, I'm going to tell you what I see. And the reason being is everything is designed for you market guys to not see this coming. It's how everything is meant to be. Like, no matter what you watch, no matter what signals you watch, no matter you're not meant to see what's happening. The sheep get fleeced with it. Okay, and what I'm talking about, and I could be correct, I could be inversing the situation, but either way, I want to give you this little bit of information so that each and every one of you can digest the information. Use your expertise to tell me where I'm wrong or right. Because ultimately, this is what looks like to be the play. Now, everybody sees the mass printing of the dollar. And without any surprise at all, we see it devaluing. So, recently bonds have been moving upwards, but overall, not so much. Here's the ultimate plan, because cryptos are not ready for global adoption yet. And the dollar is still the reserve currency. But through the zombie-like resurrection of the Hawley Smoot Act, stupid isolationist isolationist policies, America is cutting off its nose to spite its face, shooting itself in the foot, so to speak. Here's what's going to happen. When SWIFT collapses, when war in the Middle East shuts down the Strait of Hormuz, and everything gets chaotic, gold is going to sell off, more than likely. I don't see people diving into gold, not in my opinion. We're going to see silver sell off as well. I don't see people jumping into silver. I think we're going to see an all-time rush to the dollar. We're going to see an absolute, and then people are going to dive into bonds. But then, if you have been paying attention over the past 4 years, the Jesuit-educated, Trump-appointed Jerome Powell and the Diaper Don himself have been having a WWE SmackDown versus Raw like soap opera dialogue between the two, arguing over interest rates. Donald Trump has publicly and vehemently been a vehement supporter of negative interest rates. This is a fact. Jerome Powell, not so much. So here's what's going to happen. Either Jerome Powell will get replaced by somebody else. I'm still of the idea that Donald Trump still has more left to do in this government. That is the assumption that I'm working on, and we'll get into that in a second. The dollar should reach all-time highs, like all-time highs. It's the last leg for the dollar. And this 10-year will go negative. And then when they pull in the negative rates, you'll see all the billionaires dive into the American dollar, because this is what's going to happen. If Donald Trump does not relinquish power in the next few days, people are going to jump into bonds because it's backed by the faith, the power, and the brutality of the American government. And as far as they are concerned, that's the safest bet. They're not going to trust banks. It'll be followed by a crash of SWIFT, a liquidity crisis. It's not going to happen all at once. It will take some time. But when they announce negative interest rates, people are going to dogpile into bonds in order to. I could be wrong about this. This is what I've kind of, understood. People are going to dogpile into bonds because it's going to be the last chance to get either anything near zero, and it's going to crash gold, silver, equities, Bitcoin. That's the play. I don't know when. But y'all have to understand that, because following that, with everybody stuck in bonds, following that is the sudden destruction of the United States government. So with everybody diving into bonds, say, as it says in the book of Ezekiel, I'm just going to invoke it as an example. I don't necessarily use it as a time frame. Say 390 days after that event would be a nuclear event on American soil, and say goodbye to the American military, and then bonds worth almost nothing. I know it doesn't work exactly like that, but that's why you're the experts. Fill in the blanks. That's just the directive that's the script that they have written, okay? That being said, I'm not going to be trading over the next 3 days, whatever it is. But I do hold actual UVXY shares. Okay? I hold the shares. It doesn't look like it can go much lower, to be honest. Oh, man. So I'm looking for any type of returns, really. This was just March. Doesn't mean that it's going to get there, but hey, we'll see. I hold inverse to gold and silver. I hold inverse to IWM, inverse to SPY. I hold a few puts, a few UVXY calls, but I'm just observing. I am a noob in the markets. So let's talk about the experts, and let's talk about my morning routine. First of all, each and every one of you should be watching Suspicious Observers. A quick morning intro. Every day watching the sun is for your benefit, trust me. But my history with finances probably began like 2008, 2009, sometime around there. When I was like 15, I had a 9 to 5 over the summer, working at a deli, and the guy who worked at the deli was a trader in a stock was a stock trader for, I think it was Ameriquest, and then they shut down his branch. So they said, I think, but there's rumors that he went to jail. I think he was in on some of the Bernie Madoff Ponzi scheme, or he was doing coke or prostitution or something, because now he's just a janitor and working at delis. But when I was young, he always told me, go get invested in the stock market. But I, for better or for worse, was watching. I was listening to some other stuff, and I was too conspiratorial minded, right? Immortal Technique. I was listening to that when I was young. So I've been doing the conspiracy stuff for longer than some of you have been doing markets. So, Silver Report Uncut. I began investing in silver at a very young age. And I think one of the first people that I ever began listening to, well, I think I got it from Alex Jones, but one of the first people I ever began listening to was Gregory Mannarino. Gregory Mannarino has a chat room, but I don't go there because it's all, I go there to troll people, but everything he does is free. I think he's got a few books for like $5 or something like that. He does a weekend video. He does a pre-market and post-market video. I love the guy. He is a 32nd degree Mason, which makes me go, But then again, he's just on it for the charity, as far as I'm concerned. No condemnation there, but he is a Mason. That being said, is my morning routine. He typically doesn't post his video till 9 o'clock, so when I get to his morning video, I get to it. First thing I do in the morning, and let's see. Let's see if he has popped in for the morning. There you go. He's late. But early on, Scott Redler, easiest to follow him over at Twitter. He does morning 6:30 morning video called The Dog Pound. And even though I have not been trading the past like month really, there were a few trades that Scott Redler put me onto. He finds, let me scroll really far. Oh, he gets me inspired with his running videos. Let's go. This is over the weekend. He does tons. He signals tons of trades for small price stocks. So lots of $10, $20 stocks, and he hits them on the head 9 out of 10 times. Great for finding those cheap stocks that if you have a lot of money, you can make some big profits. But if you're like me and you only want to throw $100 into a trade, you can go and make $10, $20 here and there. Scott Redler also is on mainstream news from time to time. He does a news segment every now and then, so he's not just a Twitter guy. Anyways, moving on. After that, I go and I move on. Starting at 9 o'clock, I jump on Conquer Trading Investing for some charting We do some charts over here. Let's see. This system, I've got his. These are my charts up here, and down here with my futures and everything up here, this is where we do his charts. So this is where I keep his information. Uh, this is Gregory Mannarino's quant system, basically. And this for day trading has kept me on just perfect. It's RSI, accumulation distribution by, and then the MACD. And I'm missing one or two things, but this is adopted into TradeView. It's relatively simple. Do this and look at the 10-year yield, and you'll stay on top of day trading. And then this down here, this is Jordan over at Conquer Trading Investing. This is Jordan's little gadget. I haven't traded with it, so I can't really tell you much, but the true trend, Conquer Trading and Investing. One thing that Jordan has done since I found him was encouraged me to not trade, not take trades, just observe the market, and that's what I'm doing. That's what I've been doing. Just when it's time to move, be ready to move. So after Jordan begins at about 9 o'clock and broadcasts for up to like an hour and a half, 2 hours. But at market open, after the Pledge of Allegiance is said, I head over here to Stock Market Live. And the Trading Fraternity, Stock Market Live, he broadcasts for the entire day. You can go and check out his brother's channel at Colt Real Estate, I think it's called. Anyways, this is where we're going to hit the TLT play, the bond play. I think the big one is going to happen. It might take some time. And this inauguration, or lack thereof, might be the spark that ignites the tinderbox. So the Trading Fraternity is also his channel, and he does the nightly watch list, so you can go and check that out as well. And some other subscriptions that I have on. You'll have to forgive me. I just woke up and I'm drinking my coffee right now before I do a morning workout. I'm a hardcore silver stacker, and I always will be. Some of the other channels that I recommend, Silver Report Uncut is okay. I say okay because he's a Trump tard. But I love Wall Street for Main Street. This guy is just brilliant. Puts out amazing content. I like, let's see, what else? I mean, don't get me wrong, I'm subscribed to all of these for a reason. I like Moneko64. Again, these are the gold and silver people. The reason I'm a gold and silver person is just stacking up wealth preservation, and cryptocurrency. It was actually Adapt 2030 who got me to buy crypto, because I was so stubborn. I knew about crypto when it was 10 cents, but I said, "Oh, it's government project." We'll talk about that in a second. Another one I like is ITM Trading. ITM Trading. Lynette Zhang, she hasn't posted in a while. I especially like the fact that Lynette Zhang over at ITM Trading does gardening as well, self-sustainability. That's something that you market people need to improve on. So those are pretty much my stock market. I know this is called cryptos. So without any further ado, there's Lynette Zhang, ITM Trading. That's pretty much, what I genuinely go to. Another part of my morning routine here is Ivan on Tech every morning. In my opinion, the best channel to go to for cryptos is Ivan on Tech, without a doubt. So I'll watch this and I'll start my morning routine. Another channel that's reliable, though he's a little kooky, to say the least, but his videos are entertaining and he likes to do his research. I think he's a little self-absorbed. Chico Crypto, great videos though. And then Crypto Blood. Just 3 channels if you want to get into cryptocurrency. So, first of all, what is cryptocurrency? Cryptocurrency is math. That's all it is. It's mathematics. There's no reason to be afraid of it. It is not the mark of the beast. It is mathematics. It's like it would be the equivalent of saying that an abacus is a devil's tool. It is not. It's simply mathematics. The Byzantine generals problem, or the Byzantine fault, is it's a logic problem. So I'm trying to see if we can. Oh, they're not going to give me the pictures, are they? All right. 1 second. You can go read about this if you are so inclined to do so. Basically, the Byzantine generals problem is something like this. There's like allied generals here and here, and they have to get a message to other generals. How do they send the messengers without getting caught or without sending a double message? For example, this general tells his fellow army to retreat. This general tells his fellow army to attack. So you get what I'm saying? Where this guy plans to attack, this guy plans to retreat. When they send their messengers at the same time, they get to the other end. What ends up happening is the guy who wanted to retreat ends up attacking, and the guy who wanted to attack ends up retreating, and they end up losing. It's the double spending problem. And that's the problem with the payment systems today, and why there needs to be a central authority. And so mathematics behind cryptocurrency is what solves what cryptocurrency is. So I know it sounds confusing, but it is a permissionless, okay, meaning you don't need to contact Visa or a bank to get permission to spend your money. It is a permissionless, peer-to-peer exchange network. And it is a distributed ledger technology. And as far as we know, the first example of distributed ledger technology is the Quran, because it needs to be, in order for the Quran to be present in a mosque, it needs to be sanctioned by a central authority, which is a distributed ledger. And when they make a change to one Quran, they make a change to all the Qurans. That is the first example of distributed ledger technology, by the way, folks. So this is nothing new. The Byzantine general fault. This stuff is nothing new. Another thing with blockchain voting, you can look into this. In order to give the people power, blockchain voting is the answer. Fact. There's no disputing this. The way it works is, and we'll get into passwords and this, that, and the third, but you're given two sets of passwords. You're given a private key and a public address. And the public address is anonymous. The private key is known to you and only you. Although there are some technological concerns, but it's no different than having a bank or having to secure your own house, your own premise. It's no different. Actually, it's much easier. And the way it would work is you show up to a voting booth or whatever with your public address. You plug your public address in. Excuse me, you plug your private address in, and that will invoke the public address, and then you vote. And then on a wall, much like Ellis Island, would be the public address and then the votes that were cast, so that you know what your public address is, but nobody else knows what your public address is. It's all anonymous in that respect. And if you so choose, you can verify to the public, you can show the world that what you voted for. Everybody can see what you voted for, but if you want to remain anonymous, then you keep your private key secure. But if you want to show to everybody and prove, like, hey, look, this is my vote, this is my private key, and it was indeed registered for the candidate that I intended. So it takes the worry out of all the rigging that's going on, and all the bickering, all the childishness. So in order to democratize money, in order to have a true democracy, or at least faculties of a true democracy, we need cryptocurrency. We need blockchain voting. Otherwise, let's all pull out the guns and let's go back to colonial times. Because this system doesn't work. The system that we have now. And let's talk about the brilliance of cryptocurrency. Let me see if this one works. So basically, okay, this will give you blah, 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 blah. This is basically how a mnemonic password works. There are, for each word, there are numbers associated with it. Numbers and letters. It's called hash code. Or a version of hash code. It's computer programming. So these massive, uncrackable sequences associated with your public address are how you secure your assets. And a mnemonic password, let me get one for Bitcoin. Just to show you guys how beautiful this is. I'm going to show you how you can secure your entire life's wealth and move country to country with it. And nobody will know. The most secure, as far as we know, is 24 words. And we're going to generate it. Watch. So this is the key. This is your password. That's the password right there. Could you imagine? Oh, and it's there's your QR code. Could you imagine trying to remember this, or even saving it? If you lose the paper, you're done. But you don't need to. This is the beauty of mnemonic password generators. All you have to do is remember these words in this order. So, if you would like to write a story, or if you would like to write a song, a rhyme, you can save your password to your finances. You can put it in the public eye. Let's say you write a song and you memorize it, but you don't want to get hit in the head and lose your memory. You can post, like, for example, and you would have to have some type of way of knowing what words to pick out, but I'll just give you, I'm just going to talk. I'm going to give a sentence using all these words, and then we can post it on the internet, and then there you go. Ready? There was a pink gala apple in the refrigerator. I rapidly reached for it in the morning because it is my favorite snack to break fast with. Typically, I make coffee as I get my children ready to go to the bus, and I tell my daughter that she cannot wear a skirt. She protests without success. Though my frustration and distraction causes me to spill coffee on the front of my shirt, I reach in the cabinet hastily and bend the bracket and accidentally divide the spices and disrupt their alphabetical order, which is an expression of my organization and, in the end, the key to flavor, blah 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 blah, so on and so forth. You see how you can do that? And if you understand iambic pentameter and you had some type of numerical pattern to it, you could write a key to it, like a numerical key. And that's how the Masons hide their information in the Bible. Sorry, I had to make this like political and religious. But look, just be careful with cryptocurrency. If Tether goes, the whole market goes, because the exchanges will not have anything backing it, and it will cause a huge shitstorm. And Tether, Stable Act, I haven't really been keeping up on it. They kicked the can down the sideline, as we can see. I guess Ethereum's moving up. But as we can see, Bitcoin is consolidating. This is the end of the 19th. So we'll see what happens, right? Right, folks? Let's take a look at Ethereum. Ooh, go Ethereum. If you get more than 32 Ethereum, you can get paid for life. I think it's somewhere between 5 and 10 APR. I was doing that quite some time ago. That was my landscaping thing. I bought one Ethereum a week. I saved my money and bought one Ethereum a week because I said, I'm not going to landscape for somebody else for the rest of my life. Hell no. Ethereum, XRP, Bitcoin. Those are the three most important ones. Another one, potentially Litecoin, could be the transactional currency, but there's others out there. There's no guarantee with Ethereum, though. Who knows? The Stable Act could hurt it. Anyways, that is my morning. I'm going to get going. 35 minutes. This is the quickest that I've done in a long time. That is Sunday Night Cryptos. Let's see what the week brings. Take care and be safe, y'all.